feels like a bygone era, because as you say, when you say emo, like I look back so fondly on the emo and screamo that I used to listen to 50.
Hey up, welcome to our review cast. Today we're going to be reviewing the rest of the Sync With Me Low Spirits EP.
No, say the rest. The rest. I guess we missed out the first part because we've already done the review of Secrets by Sync With Me. We love this band. They're wonderful.
Yeah, we've also done Whispers, which is right in the middle of the EP.
Okay. How many tracks is on this EP? I'm really bad because we've known about this EP, but I have been an arsehole. And I said this on, I think, when we've done our, it depends which comes out first, but if the other one comes out first, I said on our awards, not saying too much, obviously, because we don't want to talk about it, because otherwise people know what awards are what.
Yeah, just wait 2 years and you'll see it.
Yeah, shut up, you mug. But I haven't spent enough time to listen to this entire EP because I'm an arsehole. Now, there's been a lot of other things that's been going off, but I'm looking forward to this one because I really like this band and they're wonderful people.
Yeah. They are. Yeah, this was out. When did they release this? It was tail end of last year. I just can't remember exactly.
It was
October.
Was it December? Yeah.
No,
I think it was either September, October.
Yeah, that was October. Yeah, so we've done two. So we've done Secrets, which was the first one. So if you want to see it, there'll be a link. And we did the third song in this, which is Whispers, which is one with Tom Keeley of Patient 67.
Yeah.
So
we're on a time crunch for this video because my pizza's done in 25 minutes.
Nah, we want it to burn.
He likes it burnt. That is burnt.
Oh yeah, he does.
He puts in a 20-minute pizza for 33 minutes.
If we're still recording when the pizza's done, I'll show everyone how perfectly I have pizzas.
God,
fucking broken. This kid's malfunctioned.
Proof. But yeah, so this was the EP. Jake did reach out and ask us, so apologies for the delay. Just had no energy to do anything because work, life, illnesses, more illnesses,
injuries,
snapped Achilles, fucking everything. So just could not be asked, to be honest. Had no energy to do anything.
Tests, all sorts.
Yeah, he moved house as well not that long ago, and it's still chaos.
Well, it was around the time of this release, and he was little man over here, or little big man, or lanky skinny cunt, I call him. It was right in the time of his driving tests and exams as well. So it was a interesting time of year. Yeah, let's say.
But we're back. So
we're back.
So if you want to hear the other songs, they'll just basically be linked. But Side Effects is the first one, which is the second song on the album, or the EP.
Let's go. Always a fan of fade-ins.
Yeah.
Brings my old school vibes.
I'm liking that. Ooh. That really background echoey reverb, all the way up here. That dun 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 was so
It's like a
oh my God,
a panpipe or a flute or something.
Yeah, that was so cold. Oh my God.
They go from Secrets, which is obviously a very short. It was less than 3 minutes. That really pacey one, that was quite angsty, and then they fade into this and that portion with the synthy elements that are really far back. So sick, so sick.
Hit that play button, yeah.
So good.
always forget how good the screens are. Glitch.
Yeah.
That's so nice.
Hold on, I'm just gonna switch this over because I saw that there's like individual things, and it just has some effects on it. So on the screen, it looks a little nicer. Okay, 2. We'll go here because I like this bit.
Yeah.
I'll talk about that bit anyway. I do love that bit as well. There's like a slight effect on his voice as well, which you can hear. But it works really nicely. As you always say, so we prefer to not have them, but sometimes there's a place for it.
Well, it's very, very subtle. I'm just, again, Sing With Me, one of these bands that they I don't know whether they listen to me or what, but like, I don't hear many of the bands like fucking around with glitches as much as they do.
Yeah.
And I fucking love it. Like, it's got to a point now that I'm expecting the glitch from them, and they're just throwing these little subtle ones.
Yeah,
love it. All day long for that stuff, man. That's their little fucking their thing. But yeah, interestingly, you moved to this one. I was going to say that album stream one that we were listening to. Then I was like, is there a problem with the audio? Like, is it mixed wrong? Because it sounded a bit weird. But then we've moved to this video and it sounds a lot better. So I think it's just the upload on YouTube that caused.
Yeah, it's because it's not uploaded by them. It's by like something into the core or something. But I always listen to this on Amazon Music, so I didn't actually notice that they actually did release like their own individual ones on their channel. So I switched to those.
Yeah, this sounds much better.
Yeah,
but yeah, they're so confusing as well because like you start getting into the poppy vibe of it.
Yeah,
and then all of a sudden it switches and gets really dark and metally, and you're like, oh shit.
Yeah. And like it's lyrically as well, it's so deep as well anyway. So if you're like bopping along, you'll listen to the lyrics and you'll just be like, oh God, I want to have a cry now, like fucking hell.
I think the word for it is melancholy.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, like that's a good word.
You're vibing off it, but actually there's a darkness undertone throughout the entire thing.
Yeah.
It's happily depressing.
Yeah.
It's melancholy.
Yeah. It's melancholy.
I had this exact conversation with Josh Hardy from Envisions the other week when we were talking about Simple Plan before we went to the gig. Because like Simple Plan are obviously a complete pop punk band, but then when you actually delve into their lyrical side, they're actually really like sad and like about like broken childhoods and like shitty lives and this, that, and everything that kids do go through and teens go through, and especially so in that era as well. And you're just like, holy shit. So, like, it's quite weird. Yeah, you get that weird balance of both. I'll press play.
Oh, this is much better sounding.
Yeah.
I love that. I know that when the beat's got half time.
Yeah, I love that beat.
so happy emo.
Yeah.
When I say emo, I'm not using that in a derogatory term. I'm saying like,
Yeah.
you know, like you want to smile, but you don't want to smile. It's such a conjecture. Like it's fighting itself.
Yes, with the melodic stuff is all like it seems all cheery and stuff, but then the actual lyrics are well deep. But even the way the boppy melodic beat is put together is still a bit cold and deep.
Yeah,
Like,
man.
it's just so melodic and boppy. Like, it's so mad.
Yeah.
It's Inception. It's a brain fuck.
Yeah. It's very atmospheric as well with the song, and yeah, I do get that. So, but it's like it is still like we mentioned it before as well. Like it feels like a bygone era because as you say, when you say emo, like I look back so fondly on the emo and screamo that I used to listen to 18 years ago, and I loved it, and it wasn't like a negative to me. I find a lot of positivity in it, and we talk about it constantly. It's like, you know, you get it from people. So, why you listen to that devil music, or oh, why would you listen to that, or this, that? What? So I'll just listen to fucking people going, oh, I'm gonna fuck bitches and fuck this and my wet ass pussy. Shall I? Like, that's really great for my life. See, I went off on a tangent.
Trigger warning.
Here's another rant again. Come on, Sean.
Yeah. It's like I actually can't stop it. My brain just goes, no.
You set yourself off earlier.
People get these categorizations and genres, and they use it as a negative, and they're like, you fucking emo. Like, oh, so what? Like, what the fuck? Like, what? Everything's nice as pie all the time. Okay, well, good luck in life. You know, if you think that everything's happy all the time, like you got a shock to the system coming. Hey, I'm going off on one now.
Yeah.
But like, it's just not like that. You need a balance, and you need to hear this side of things. And actually, like you say, like this type of music is really quite telling because you're listening to it, and like, obviously they're trying to get out a message that rings true with everyone. There's a positivity behind it, but it's by displaying the negativities of what he's singing about, and it captures it really, really well. Like, I just, it's just mind bending though, because I want to be happy. Like you say, it's very boppy, but it's really sad.
Yeah, that is, and it's I love these boys. I think they're amazing. We called them out for an EP, not knowing that they had an EP coming anyway. They snuck us a little message before it came out, but we called them out because they had a few singles. One of them, which isn't on here, which is the "No One Cares Till You Die." Obviously, that was like a mental health song that was done for a specific purpose at the time. So that's not on here. But yeah, we were like, boys, EP. You just might as well just give us an EP at this point if you're going to keep releasing like all these singles. Little did we know there was one on coming.
On
so
the radar,
so. Yeah, I think this is such a nice song alongside everything else as well. It's just one you could just sing along to nicely, just really get into. So, Whispers would be the next song. So again, there'll be a link to that. So go check it out if you want to get a full review. So now you pause, you listen to Whispers, and you come back. So that's the plan.
Yeah, we're controlling. We're telling you what to do.
Yeah.
That's what you have to do.
Yeah, because we are the government, so that's what you have to do.
Let's put a button on there that takes it to Whispers, and they can only move on once they've clicked it.
Can you do that on YouTube? I know you can put buttons on.
I don't think you can, but we're the government, we'll make them.
Yeah, exactly. So the next one is Losing Game, which is the fourth on the EP.
Already, I love the continuousness between the songs. Like, this song feels kind of continued from the last one.
It does, yeah.
In terms of melody and rhythm.
Yeah, I think it's well put together actually for such a short. I say short, like 5 songs is quite often the size of an EP, but I think it's very well put together. I think like if you were to listen to it in order, it does actually work really well. And yeah, it feels like they're all part of the same like album or band or whatever. So
Mm.
I wish he'd have gone up higher there instead of "You
Yeah.
beating from my heart." I really wish he went "You beating from my heart" instead, and
Yeah,
carried the
okay,
note
yeah.
up there. That's the only criticism so far. I felt like he could have just gone up a bit higher there, and it would have just it'd have been sexy.
Perhaps, yeah.
It's just that bit like.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and then this one.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on here. Oh, brought in the sub.
I'm gonna pause it in a sec before we get into the next portion. So I love everything about that. I kind of heard this the other day as well. There's this piercing noise that's coming up here that's kind of like it kind of, I don't know what it sounds like, a cymbal. I'm not really sure.
Yeah,
It's too much. There's so much going on that I don't know why there's it sounds like a cymbal that's just like non-stop in my like up here somewhere.
That's the mix, unfortunately. I think because they're doing a lot of stuff with effects and synths.
Yeah.
I think unfortunately the crash or the china that he's hitting constantly is getting brought into that mix, so it's really, really trebly and heavy.
Yeah.
Because I hear that as well. It's bleeding a bit, and it wasn't as bad. I think they did one track a while back where the mix was a bit off.
Yeah, is it the first one we reviewed?
Yeah, it wasn't as bad as that, but I think they're on the line of there's just almost too many effects going on.
Yeah.
It's not too much, but I think if they added one more thing, it would overload it. This is for your production brain, Leon. You know, if you want to start talking about production and stuff like that, this is where I would say that the stylistic choice here, I feel, almost went too far in terms of the frequency. And I don't know whether or not that's the people who've produced it or they've done it themselves.
Yeah, because sometimes the issue is you have good ideas and you think they'll go together, but then there's so much stuff put together that you just can't change the frequency of a certain thing.
I've done it when I moved from hip hop to dubstep, and I just overlaid far too many things, and it got to a point where, in fact, you'll know it if you Google Blunt. What's it now? I've forgotten the name of the tune that I did, but I've got two versions. I've got a master and a pre-master. The pre-master was the one that got massive, but I had to cut it because the frequencies were all wrong. Even though everybody liked it, when I listened to it, the frequencies were bleeding into each other, and it was just didn't work because I had too much shit going on.
Yeah.
So I had to cut
Was it
some of the
Rise
stuff
Up?
out. Yeah, it was Rise Up. Yeah, so there's
Rise Up,
Rise Up
yeah.
pre-master, and then there's Rise Up final edition. In the final edition,
5,000 views.
yeah, it was
Fucking
big,
hell.
mate. It got into clubs and all sorts without me even knowing.
Yeah.
But forget about plugging my shit. The point I'm trying to make is that
Yeah.
my master didn't get that big, but I had to do that because the frequency issue. You can just put too much in, and unless somebody tells you, "Oi, that's going to not work," then it'll just stay in. And I think that's what's happened here.
Yeah.
And like I've done it before where there's just been too much where you can't change something, so you've got to figure out what would be the best to remove to still have it the effect you want it. That's the hard part about it.
Yeah.
But with this, I can't tell if it's them or if it's the mastering, but
Yeah.
it could just be that there's so much stuff overlaid.
Yeah.
It's a
'cause
great song.
It's musically
Yeah.
so good at that point as well, like, and it's getting heavier. And then I'm just like, but I'm like in my brain, I'm like, all I can hear is that noise. Like,
That's-
then it disappears briefly.
It's the frequency it's mixed at.
It's annoying because I actually love that portion,
It's
but
in
then
the right ear, isn't it?
yeah, and I'm just hearing it here, and I'm like, I can't think about the rest of the song because this is piercing my brain, and it's just a shame because I think it's a great song again. So
I think it's levels and mixes or whatever, because you need to have the crash there. But I think it's the unfortunate scenario where they've got other stuff that needs to be a bit more forward.
yeah,
But unfortunately, because of the sound that particular symbol creates, that's ended up being brought forward as well. Ideally, they probably needed to use a different symbol that wasn't so sharp.
yeah,
But it's a learning curve for them, and this is what's great about this band. And we've spoken to them about it. We spoke to each other about it before. I love this band because actually they look at criticism and they make adjustments. They don't hold themselves in a regard where they think that they can't listen to people. They literally go, "Oh shit, yeah, we didn't think of that," or "This is why we've done it," or whatever. So by no means do I think they'll necessarily take this as a negative. It's just what we hear, I love the fact that they're so responsive and respectable, that they take things on board and want to do better.
yeah, exactly.
They can improve on that. I think a few tweaks on that it could sound fuck them better without actually having to change too much.
Yeah, I'm considering, like, as we say, like, this is their first full year as a band, and first. Oh, sorry, apologies, I had to burp there. And then their first full like EP and stuff as well.
Yeah.
Like, there's always going to be a few things. So, yeah. Just a little thing because I actually love the song, so it's just a shame.
It's a great song.
Yeah.
Great song. I actually preferred this to the other one.
Yeah.
In terms of the pace.
Yeah.
The vocals. And there's a few elements that I'm getting from. I hear a bit of Bullet. I hear a bit of just a lot of the progressive metal stuff that I like as well. That's in there, as well as still keeping that kind of that emo-y pop punk feel as well. I prefer the balance to this, but the mixing's a bit off.
Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't say anything about who the mixing or anything, so I'm not really sure.
I think Cunty McCuntface is about to arrive.
You can hear he's got his headphones on, hasn't he? In 3, 2, 1. No.
He's a dickhead. But he needs his pizza.
Yeah.
What else was I going to say, actually? There was something else I was going to say. It wasn't actually a criticism, it was positive. But on this one, there's less glitch as well.
Yeah.
Which, ironically, even though I love the glitch, I'm glad they're not overusing it.
Yeah, you got to find the right balance.
Because then it becomes a bit washed up. But this is a I like it.
We're gonna hit play.
Yeah, fuck Leon.
We might be able to hear it still. I don't know where he is in the house.
See, that was nice. We held the note and everything else cut off. This is higher. I'd say the glitch to the end.
Yeah. It's back.
It's good. But that's still a good choice, keeping it to the end for me. And I like this bit.
Because they had it early on as well, and then they
Yeah,
kind of
they did.
repeated it at the end and faded out with it. And again, it's only about 3 minutes, this song, so it's a lot of like. And again, we talked about how it felt like a bygone era from some of their stylistic choices, and that's what they've done. They've got fades, they have shorter songs, which just doesn't happen anymore. You know, every song has got to be like 5 fucking minutes. It doesn't need to be. If you write a song and you're happy,
champion in it.
yeah, it's it's the right kind of blend of everything that we enjoy, and kind of just utilizing stuff that I would have heard from the emo screamo days and some of the metalcore days, and a bit of pop punk, as you say, because definitely there's some funky stuff in there still. So just so impressed with them as a band for their first like full year.
Yeah, I imagine year 2 is going to be fucking phenomenal for them.
Yep, they are.
Serious
Look
look.
from downstairs, and sorry I took so long. Mum lost the scissors, and pizza cut is shit. But ladies and gentlemen, that's the best way to have a pizza.
He just tipped it on his fucking keyboard.
No, it's not on my keyboard. It's calm.
Fucking burnt pizza.
That looks like the fucking worst pizza ever.
You've had it before. It's actually not bad.
It's called biscuit pizza. That's what it's called. It's like eating pepperoni and cheese biscuits.
Italians would be fucking losing their shit.
I don't care. They shouldn't let you cook it for that long then.
Dumbass. But you're gonna have like fucking like a mafia member come up to your house and say, "You've cooked this for too long. I'm gonna shoot you."
Yeah. I'll have a bomb on it. Goes 5 minutes over. Boom.
We'll invent that just for you.
No.
You must stick a firework in the oven for it.
Yeah, then I'll use your oven. It'll blow up yours.
Your mum.
Last song. This is number 5, which is Misery's Home. And this is the one that features Tyler Tate of Hollow Front. So,
Wow.
bands that we very much like. So, yeah, 2 kind of good vocalists to get in, like Patient 67 with Tom Keeley and Tyler Tate. They're both fucking phenomenal vocalists. So
Tyler Tate's a brilliant vocalist.
yeah, pretty awesome. And then obviously this should hopefully lead into Matt being able to do some stuff. Obviously this was all happening when Lost Souls was coming out, so it was a bit chaotic for
Well,
them.
Matt's over in the States at the moment. Maybe they could grab a few minutes.
At the moment, they're not there for a couple of months, are they?
They're not, I'm sure. Didn't I see fucking Matt getting on the plane the other day?
Oh, maybe you did. Is it already?
Yeah, I think it is.
Caskets. Hold on,
Now I'm
Daisy,
tripping balls. I might be wrong.
We need to go there tomorrow and watch them.
The tour is... It's not till May.
What the fuck? Where's he going then?
Holiday?
Maybe.
Yeah, this says May 3rd, so I can't imagine they'd start the tour this early.
No. Must be going on holiday somewhere instead.
Yeah. Yeah, April into May.
Okay, I'm tripping balls.
Yeah, I was like, fucking hell, they were going out there already. Because I was going to say, they were meant to have this stuff with Crystal Lake, but obviously that got cancelled. And that was end of January, wasn't it? Or early Feb, I think, the stuff with Crystal Lake.
Yeah.
And obviously that got all cancelled because Crystal Lake were advised by our government. A load of bands have been advised by our government to fuck off, basically. But yeah, we are on the last song. And they also released this one to Dreambound a couple of months ago, I believe. So I think this was like the last sort of single. It didn't like have a video or anything, but yeah.
I like the pace changing this. I get Amity vibes from this.
Pause it there quick. Yeah, it's a completely like different pace to everything else they've done. And what I kind of found interesting is it's almost like the words aren't quite in time with the song.
Yeah, I kind of get that. I'm not quite sure why, because I didn't feel like it was out of time.
Yeah,
I don't know. It might be just it might just be the way that it's paced.
yeah. It's very different to the other songs that they've done as well.
And watch out for it now you've said that. That's really good. They've over distorted it, but I actually think that's a really good choice.
Yeah. I want to talk about that bit specifically, so as well. Like, I love that bit lyrically as well, and yeah, the distortion on the screams and stuff. But I think what's quite interesting is because of how religious America is as a whole, to like basically call out God in a sense like that and be like, "Why the fuck have you done this to me?" I think is quite interesting because obviously we're not a religious country at all. No, I'm definitely not religious at all. Don't believe in any of that. So it's quite interesting because some American bands will obviously be like Christian metal or Christian rock and they play it quite safe. So I like the fact that he has questioned something that is quite a big belief in that country.
Because there is. But like I guess for me it's really the reality of just speaking what's true to yourself. And clearly these are thought processes that he's had in his mind, he's just putting it to paper.
Yeah.
And if people want to listen or care to listen, then great. If they don't, then fuck you, kind of.
Yeah.
You know, is that kind of mindset. But yeah, you're right in that way. Like there's a lot of Christian beliefs in the States and the way that they kind of hold their, I guess, journey to God and God being the decisive one of where they go and what they do, and you know everything's going to be fixed and blah blah blah. And he's just going, well, yeah, like you say, you say all these things, but you've made me this way, and I'm fucking different.
Yeah.
So what the fuck? Like, answer me.
Yeah. Like blindly following a belief when I guess, as you say from the song, he's basically saying like, I've had a lot of troubles myself. Why would God do this to me? which is the question I do have for that kind of aspect of stuff. So it's nice to see. I think this is again why we like these boys, that they're very honest.
Leo's honestly munching on his pizza. He's loving it. Look at him. Look at him.
Shut your mouth. Shut your mouth. Right. I just want to say, I think I don't know. Have you guys noticed the mastering? Because there's not really much to it. Like, there's not really much oomph or anything.
It's. I think there's a theme with the mastering, unfortunately. And I'm trying to listen past that to listen to the actual music itself.
Yeah.
I'm not going to knock the band for that. They need to probably look at a different studio. Because they've had varying different quality, but also in the songs there's varying quality.
Yeah,
as well.
I think Secrets we just said it was good in the end. We didn't really pick up on it, and then Knock to the whoever it is. No one cares. No one cares till you're dead.
Yeah.
Again, we were like, this is much improved. This is much better than previous. So it's definitely still an issue where, it's like some of it bleeds into each other, which is just a shame because we love the music so much.
Yeah, like they put distortion on the drums and the bass, which I really, really liked. But then when the sub hit, it went boom. Instead of it sounding like a boom, it sounded like a
yeah.
Instead, which means that like the levels are wrong. They've actually gone past peak. So that whatever how it's mastered, if it goes past peak, it distorts, and that's not a natural distortion. That's a digital distortion that's affected by it going over the top. So you're right, Leon. You hit them. You're on the money.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've got 2 minutes left in this room.
Okay, we'll switch. Switch.
Yeah, it's worth talking about. I genuinely, we'll rewind it a little bit now that we've got a bit more time in this room. But you bang on, and I'm actually, I intentionally didn't mention it because I probably pull up on mastering and mixing too much, or maybe not too much, but I talk about it a lot, and I don't want to bore people to death with it. But the fact that you've mentioned it now, I will say that you're not wrong, but I don't want to take away the credit from what the band's doing.
Yeah.
There's two parts. There's whatever the band's making, and then whatever the producer's actually mixing and mastering. Now, that being said, if the band is mixing and mastering that, and they're just using somebody to actually put it out there, then really they might want to look at getting somebody professionally mastering it, because I don't know, they might be doing it themselves, which is fair enough if budget constraints, but I think they could do a lot better. And probably be a lot more convincing if they had a better mastering.
Well, I can see who it is, so I'm not going to call it out. But yeah, I know we're harping on about it, but we've done this with a few bands, and there'll be more that come out where we've actually spoken about stuff. So, I mean, I know you're not in the same country, but Inner Sound Audio, reach out to them. They do all the stuff in Envisions, and just go listen. If you don't know who Envisions are, go listen to that stuff.
Send your stems, send everything to them, let them do it.
They're actually amazing. They're definitely one to just. But yeah, there's just and it was to say the reason we harp on is because we're always like trying to protect the band, because it's such a shame for us because the band is so good, and I don't think it's in every song. So like, you just don't know why. Like, was it? Well, these were the main singles. They had videos. Let's make sure they're done properly, and then these were like an afterthought.
Who knows?
Yeah, so it's just a bit of a shame, but yeah.
Yeah, but you're right, Leon. Like, if I press play now, I think I've rewound it enough. Like this bit, you hear the distortion even on the bass drum. Like, it sounds good, but listen to when the drop hits. Like, it's distorting now everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like fully different.
Which is, like you say, it's a shame because this bit is actually really amazing.
Yeah.
These conversations that you left me with are taking up precious space in my head. Feeling so deep destruction within me. Oh my God, why do I feel
This is really tight.
am I not a part of division? Destroy the book, burn the page, give it to myself, destructive ways.
So I think the slight delay in vocals is definitely a choice.
Yeah. It's definitely a stylistic choice.
Yeah, I think you can liken it to, you remember the Streets,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
the rap group. They purposefully made it like spoken word and delayed their words on top of it just to give an effect. And
Yeah.
I think that's what they did on the early part of this song, because later on it's all like really tight and stuff. So song itself is brilliant.
Yeah.
I can't, like, the construction of it, the actual delivery is brilliant. Just as Liam pointed out, it's just the mix. And actually, now that we've listened to all these songs, there's such a variance in it, would suggest that they're not even using a preset, that it's just kind of
Yeah, the recording studio or whoever they've used, I think has just missed some stuff, hasn't he? I think someone needs to go, we need to change this because of this. It'll be like more proactive than reactive. I think there's a lot of problems in every industry. It's not just this industry where people are reactive rather than proactive, and they need to just be like, I can't in good faith do this because I personally wouldn't want to release this because it's on me, and go right.
You know,
this
when
is
you
why
saw
I'm
it
gonna
was
change
mixed
it.
and mastered by it, obviously you don't want to mention it. Is it? Are they directly connected to the band, or is it?
I have no idea who they are.
Okay, you don't know who they are. All right,
Yeah.
Brilliant. So what I would say is, from a band perspective, dudes, don't, music. I get there's some loyalties that have to happen, but if this is a loyalty, don't necessarily be loyal in that sense, because this is your art. It is your art, and the sounds that you can make are fucking amazing. You need that to pop and come out. It needs a better.
Yeah, just sack him
master.
off.
Just sack them off. I'm not saying sack them off. Maybe have a constructive conversation with them. But if it's not working, it needs to change, because you guys have got a really good talent.
A lot of
It just
intricacies,
needs to
isn't
come
there?
out. Yeah,
But the
it just needs to
intricacies
come out.
blend into a giant intricacy.
It gets muddy.
Yeah.
And that's not to the fault of the artist. It really, really isn't. It's the mix. And I think deep down, you guys already probably know that if you've listened to this. You musicians, you know. But taking that aside, so chuck that out. I'm not going to go on about it anymore. I really, really like that song, and I see great potential for this band moving forward. Absolutely great potential. I really love the fact that they're sticking to their guns with the kind of old school style, while still making it more relevant to the modern. I think that's something else.
Yeah, it's incredible, isn't it? I think the three songs here are a nice mixture with Whispers and Secrets. Like, I think Secrets is just phenomenal.
Yeah, it is.
Even from the video, like, it was quite a simple video where it had all the newspapers and stuff just on the walls and that, and there's Evan down on the ground when he's singing parts of it. But like that could have been from a band that were fucking 15 years into the career and signed to a huge label. Like, that's the kind of fucking level. And that's why we critique it, because we want the band to have it right, so that everyone else can hear what we hear.
Out of love, man.
I don't want someone to come to this and go, I don't like this, a bit muddy, it's a bit like, all over the place, or I'm gonna have to turn off. Like, if you're on Dreambound, because obviously this is how we found them, and you weren't willing to listen to everything, because a lot of people don't have the attention span, and it's like literally scientifically proven now that like the attention span of stuff is like less than fucking 10 seconds. People are just going to switch off, and that's what we don't want, because like they're so fucking good. So I'm looking forward to more, because I know they've been like busy writing new songs. I think they've been in the studio doing stuff from like social media you can see and stuff. So
yeah,
well fucking excited. And Tyler Tate's bit at the end as well is that man. Going back to it.
These conversations that you
fucking attacking it.
Yeah.
Such a good lyric as well.
Yeah, because if you tie it back into the whole God perspective as well, like he could be talking about like the Bible, or he could just be talking about his life, but you can look at it in different ways. So, yeah. I think lyrically, this is probably one of my favorites probably my favorite outside of Secrets.
I'd agree.
Just because of the dangerous nature of it, as we say, from that kind of, that country and their religious beliefs are very strong, and I've got nothing against that, but I like it.
I
like that he's questioning something that he, could they could have quite easily not done that just because of the dangers behind it.
Yeah, and it's definitely like a delve within. In order for you to kind of come up with stuff like this, you've got to dive inside, and really analyze yourself and work out, why am I being this way, and if there is a God, why have you made me this way? Like,
I think
surely we should be made equal, so why am I not equal?
When obviously I got into Hopsing because of like you guys and like I think it was back when we were gaming with like Nate and stuff. Actually, when I first found out about Hopsing, you boys all started talking about it. But like Hopsing questions it. I think it's one of the most powerful lyrics. I think it's in one of his Ill Minds. Maybe the one in the desert. I think it's the one in the desert, which is Ill Minds 7.
Yeah, that's fucking deep.
And you just you're like. That has to be like the thought process. I just love it. I actually do love it because I think it needs to be a topic that needs to be talked about. So it's good that people from that country are talking about it musically if that's their thoughts. So
no, totally. That's a good comparison, actually.
Yeah.
That level of depth and conversation where you're actually talking to God.
Yeah.
But like questioning him and asking for answers and not really getting the reply that you want is there's some value in that, and I think we all do it, even if we don't have necessarily a belief. And I'm agnostic. I don't believe if I believe in what I see and I believe in myself.
I'm agnostic as well. I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know whether there's a higher power, so I'm not going to like diss whether there is one. But there could be, so I'm not going to diss it just in case. But at the same point, I do constantly query going, well, if there is, then why am I like this, and why am I doing this, and why am I making these decisions? And actually, those are probably questions I'm asking myself.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because there's only me in this life that I live, and everybody else is a part of it. So yeah. Anyway, without going off on a deep one,
I think that's how powerful this song is lyrically, isn't it? Is that we can go off onto that conversation and start talking about this.
Yeah. You are God potentially.
Yeah.
So whilst you're asking God those questions, you're actually asking yourself those questions because you don't know why you're being that way.
Or as Hobson said, it's the government gods.
We'll
leave it there.
See you, Hobson.
Yeah,
man, we'll leave it there.
Down below, make sure you please go give them some love. They deserve the love. They've put a lot of effort in the past year. They've taken on everything, doesn't matter, bad or good. They take on all constructive criticism. They're really nice guys. I love them. They comment back to stuff. They watch shit, and they find out what we said, and they start commenting back. So, this is why music's awesome. They're in America.
It is.
We're stuck in England, but hopefully one day they'll come over here or we'll go over there.
Yep.
We'll see them live.
We'll go over there, yeah.
We'll share beer.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Lovely, delicious New England IPA.
Oh, don't get me started. I've got one in the fridge as well, and I've had 2 beers, and I don't want to have another one just yet, because otherwise I'll be absolutely wasted later.
Right, play us out.
Bye-bye. Ciao.
See you next week.